What is up, everybody? And you can tell by the smile on my face that I am one happy Liverpool fan right now. As you can see on the screen, a deal is agreed between Liverpool and Porto for the signing of Luis Diaz. We will go through the ins and outs of the deal. We will go through the timescale, the medical, all that kind of stuff as the stream goes on. I have to say, I mean, you're welcome, first and foremost, you know, lightheartedly. I had my rant yesterday. Obviously, I had nothing to do with it, but look, let's just pretend. Let's just pretend that John said, you know what? This Irish fella, Craig, he's on the money. Now, I've loads of details on this deal to go through for you. And do you know what? Madly enough, I'll be entirely honest with everybody. I had no clue yesterday. Found out really late last night that it was happening. But when we did our streams yesterday, honestly, not an inkling. Not an inkling. And that's one of the good parts about the way we do our transfer business, isn't it? I mean, it is one of the good parts that these things can just move quickly. And look, we will tell you about the details. We will tell you about the negotiations, all that kind of stuff as well. Lovely to see you guys in here. I hope that you're all really happy. Firstly, let me say, drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Got to do the obligatory ad read, of course, ladies and gentlemen. This announcement video, and it is an announcement video, has been brought to you with thanks to our friends at Spitch. If you don't know what Spitch is, it is a football manager game that allows you to prove your knowledge against other managers and be given a chance to win your share of up to 70 grand every week from the prize pool. You can create a brand new lineup each week. There are leagues from there's pitches, from the Premier League, the Bundesliga, the Champions League. Once match day kicks off, you'll receive points based on things like goals, shots, tackles, all the usual stuff for your FPL games. You need to be 18 years or over to sign up. You need to have your ID ready as well to upload, and you need to be a resident of the UK. The link to download Spitch is in the description below. As I said, 70 grand. And you can pick it up and come back to it. Not like a normal FPL game where you've got to be on it every single week. With Spitch, there are paid pitches, there are free pitches, completely up to you. Thank you to our friends at Spitch. Really, really appreciate the support. Thank you to you guys. But most importantly, thank fucking Christ we've got a signing to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen. So let me get the Luis Diaz thing back up. Right. Loads of things to talk about. What do we want to go through first on this one, my friends? Because I know there are going to be people coming in. Let me say, this deal was negotiated by Julian Ward, for those that don't know. So Julian Ward is, of course, the man that is stepping up to take over when Michael Edwards moves on, when his contract leaves at the end of the season. Now, Michael Edwards was apparently in a supporting role to this deal. I don't know what that means. Was he on Zoom going, go on, Julian, lad, go on, son. You've got this, mate. 50 million, tell them they can have it over 23 years. I don't know what that supporting role was, but it is a great piece of business from the club, a great piece of business from Julian Ward to get his first big deal over the line. And look, whatever way we dress this up, I've been critical of the owners. I will continue to be critical of them, but this is a serious piece of business. Now, for those of you wondering how this came about so quickly, I guess it comes from Spurs' interest and that Spurs were really pushing to sign Luis Diaz. So what we know is, we knew Liverpool had an interest in him. This is no news to any of us. We've been talking about this and we've been monitoring this for a while. But I think it's that Spurs' interest that forced Liverpool's hand to act earlier than we would have wanted to. So we believe that Liverpool wanted to sign Luis Diaz in the summer, but that was pushed forward because Spurs were really pushing hard to sign the lad. Spurs also look like they've missed out on Traore, by the way, but look, who cares? That's Spurs' problem. So for us, here's the figures that you need to know. As it shows on the screen there, the initial fee is going to be £37.5 million with an additional 12.5 million in add-ons. 7.5 million of that is believed to be very achievable. 5 million seems to be in and around, you know, us doing really well, winning competitions, winning trophies, that sort of stuff. So what do we know about Luis Diaz? For me, honestly, not as much as I'd like to know, but we're about to go through it and find out. People are saying, have we fully signed him? No, we haven't. A medical still has to take place. Now, on the medical, a couple of things we need to know. Firstly, he's playing tonight for Colombia, and I will be doing a watch along of that. So if anybody wants to join me for a Luis Diaz Colombia watch along over to Twitch, 8:45 tonight, watch along over there. Can't wait. Gonna be fun getting to know this guy and a bit more about him. So let me just get at my information here and we can go through the details. The medical likely to take place in Argentina. You know what? In case people are doubting the authenticity of it, let me just bring you an example of a few bits and pieces. So look, here we go. On the screen there now, you can see a whole host of top tier journalists who are letting you guys know that this deal is done. We've got David Lynch, we've got Fabrizio Romano, Paul Joyce and James Pearce, all with different, well, I say different versions, they're different takes on the deal. It is happening. So for people who say it's not done yet, don't worry about it. You don't get these type of journalists commenting on something if it's not a done deal, if the club haven't briefed them that it's happening. So yes, delighted about that one. I'm going to just grab up some more information now just to bring it to you guys, because I know we're all hungry for as much info as we can possibly get right now, because let's be honest, we haven't had a transfer to celebrate in a while. Ibrahim Kanate was the last one. I'm going to go through as many of your questions as I can, by the way, so anything that you have, get ready. I will get to the comments in a second. If you want to become a member of Anfield Agenda FC, you can of course do that. It's $4.99 a month. You get all the custom emojis. You get into our Discord group, which is where we give you the little snippets of transfer information and stuff early doors when we get them. So if Luis Diaz gets a yellow card tonight, he's going to be banned for their next game, which could potentially make the medical a bit easier. Now, I'm not saying I want him to go out there and pick up a yellow card. I'm just giving you an insight into the not stumbling block, that's not it. The last problem that the club have is getting a medical done, because obviously the transfer window closes at the end of the month. He's away on international duty now, so Liverpool are looking to get the medical sorted, I believe, in Argentina over the course of the weekend. So probably expect next week before the club do their full unveiling, but we'll know before that the transfer is done. So again, as I said, let me just pull up some information here, because Connor's been sending me stuff all day on this one. Okay, so already we've got bringing a move for Luis Diaz forward will mean the transfer kid will be less sizable than initially hoped for in the summer months. And you know what? I don't mind that, because I think we're all understanding that this transfer was pushed forward. So if this was going to be one for the summer, I think we'll all rationally understand that the transfer kitty might take a bit of a hit in the summer because of this one. So on that one, it looks like they could be in for Porto, I say. Fabio Carvalho, interesting enough, as a possible replacement. I don't know where we stand on that right now. I'm hoping to have more information on that by the 8 o'clock stream tonight with myself and Paddy Murphy. I'm going to go into the chat now and see how you guys are feeling. My love is growing for my mighty Reds. It's amazing, isn't it? It is amazing how one transfer can lift all of our spirits. It's amazing. Now look, I'm not going to lie and say that I know everything about Luis Diaz. I don't. I've seen a handful of games from him, but what I've always said is, if Jurgen Klopp and the scouts want somebody, who am I to question it? Because their hit rate has been phenomenal. So I'm sure that he's going to do really well. My opinion still stands, by the way. I think this is probably even more of an indication that we may see Sadio Mane leave in the summer. That's, I don't want to piss on anybody's cornflakes, but that's genuinely how I read this. But look, let's not worry about that. Let's talk about the positives. But when it's Salah's contract, I don't know, mate. And I get where you're worrying. I get it. Because, a lot of people right now got to be thinking, are we waiting? Is this going to be before the bad news about Salah? I don't think so. I genuinely think this is something that was going to happen. And as I said, the club had to push it forward. So ignored all the other news so I could share this with Craig. You good people, said Jamie. We love that. Connor's still sending me through stuff as we're moving. So Liverpool would have to omit an overseas player from the Champions League squad should Luis Diaz sign in the coming months. That's coming from Ian Doyle. And again, there was a bit of confusion the other day, because we spoke about an article that said if Liverpool signed Luis Diaz, he wouldn't be able to play in the Champions League. Apparently he is. Apparently, as we know, that rule was changed. So I can't remember which outlet put that article out there, but for those wondering, it looks like he will be able to take part in our Champions League campaign. Liz, thank you for the first super chat of the stream. Said Julian Ward, the Magician's Apprentice. I was going to say the Manager's Apprentice, the Magician's Apprentice. Portuguese league is garbage. And what? So I don't know who you support, Cade Fagan, but no matter what it is, if it's United, well, Bruno came from the Portuguese league, mate. He's all right for you, lad, isn't he? If you're a United fan. So for me, I think this is spot on from Adzer. So Adzer said, in relation to the player that's going to have to give up an overseas Champions League place, I think Adzer's right. I think we'll probably see Takumi Minamino being the one giving up his place. And I wonder if we may see Minamino moved on now in this window, because we know there's been interest in him from, I think, Monaco and Leeds, if my memory is correct. I love the excitement, by the way. I'm hungry for information and knowledge on Luis Diaz now. So I want you guys to let me know if you've watched him, what you've taken from him. Craig F. What's this? Sorry, just comments are moving quick. Sorry, I'm trying to get through as many of them as I can here. Great signing, said Captain Sal. Ronaldo, Fernandez, João Felix, Diaz all came from that league. Exactly, mate. It is. I get where he's coming from. Like, you do look at the Portuguese Primeira Division, you look at the Eredivisie, and players have shown up to be really well in those leagues before and then not hit the ground running when they've come to the Premier League. But again, what I would say is, I fully trust Jurgen Klopp and the scouts, and anybody that they've brought in for big money has worked. Look at the impact that we've had from Diogo Jota as soon as he signed. Is Jude still happening? Well, yes. I mean, this is not a comparable position, Jack. We're talking about an attacking player here, and in Bellingham we're talking about a midfielder. He looks sexy in the Liverpool kit. Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy. I'm genuinely happy that we're getting a deal over the line in a position that we definitely need strengthening in. Craig, watch his goal against Manchester City in the Champions League last season. So I was looking at it. So he was joint Golden Boot winner in the Copa America with Leo Messi previously. He was in the Copa America team of the tournament as well. He's won a domestic treble, I think, with Porto. We know we played against him twice this season, and I've got to be honest and say when we played against them, I wasn't blown away. But then again, I wouldn't have paid as much attention if I would have if I'd known that this was coming. Chaos Joker said, it's just great news and a massive boost to our depleted squad. Good work by FSG, to be fair. Yes, and I love that you've said that, mate, because we will be the first ones on this channel to be critical of FSG when needs be. We won't hold back. But I think, to be fair, we also have to acknowledge when things are done right. And they'd seen that Spurs were pushing for this kid, and they got the deal done. And that deserves credit. It does deserve credit. I still have the same stance, but yes, well done. They've got the deal done. Typical Liverpool signing, said Jamie Drummer, which means smart. Yep. And do I love that we should host another Premier League team for him? Well, yeah, I do. I do love rubbing Spurs' nose in it. Why not? You know, we've seen enough welcome to Spurs stuff on social media that we can have a little chuckle about it. Right, some more information on Luis Diaz, because we are scrambling here, folks. We are definitely scrambling. Okay, Connor said there was more information. So yeah, if he gets a yellow card in his game tonight, he can come to Liverpool earlier for a medical. So that's why we'll be doing a watch along, as I said. Tonight, 8:45 over on the Anfield Agenda Twitch channel, and there is a link in the description to give us a follow on there. It'll be a Luis Diaz watch along tonight. So give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're going to join me for the watch along of the Colombia game tonight, and we'll have a little eye on Luis Diaz and see how he gets on. So thumbs up in the chat if you're joining me. He scored 16 goals in 26 games this season. This is from No Smoke Without Fire. That is a pretty impressive hit record, even for the Portuguese division. That's pretty damn good. Love this. Love this. I'm glad to see the enthusiasm is there for everybody as well, because I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. I do love me a shiny new attacking player to drool over. Diaz is already beginning his medical. Well, as I said, it's going to take place over the course of the weekend in Argentina. Give him number 7. Well, I don't think he'll be getting number 7 initially, because that's Jimmy Milner's number. But at the end of the season... Well, look, would he want to move at the end of the season? I don't know, but it'll be an interesting one. It'll be an interesting one on the number, actually. That's a very good show to see what number he might take. See, this is my worry, Rob, and I think everybody's worry. So Rob's put in paid for by the sale of Salah. And I get that a lot of Liverpool fans are going to be worrying about that right now. And I'd be a liar, Rob, if I said it's not at the back of my mind as well. But I am willing to give the benefit of the doubt in this scenario, because I do think Salah's deal gets done. Now, if there's no indication at the end of this transfer window, Rob, that Salah's deal gets done or looks like to get done, I think we'll up the ante, and rightly so. As Liverpool fans, we should be more vocal. And we'll push that. Don't worry, Rob. We won't cower, we won't hide, and we won't lick FSG's hole like others. We'll call it as it is. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Gustav said, I'm loving this up the Reds. When is the earliest he could join the squad? Early next week. Well, if he gets the yellow card tonight, Herman, that will be the end of the international break for him, and he could come back earlier. But I'm not wishing him to miss games for his country. So I would say next week, mate. I mean, could he be in the squad? I don't know about the registration for the FA Cup 4th round. So I don't know if he could be in the squad for the Cardiff game. But certainly, it'd be plenty of time for the next league game, mate. Plenty of time. and again for the 2 ties against Inter Milan coming up as well. Love how it just pushed Spurs to the side. Yeah, I love how he just pushed Spurs to the side, said Nick. It is lovely, isn't it? Because he does seem to genuinely wanted to have come to Liverpool. He did have options to go to Spurs. We know this. Spurs, I believe, would have paid enough to get him out, but he let it be known that he wanted to come to Liverpool. So he's obviously an ambitious lad. He's obviously a fucking clever lad as well, because we're a far better club. And look, he's 25 years of age, Luke. 25 years of age. So right in that peak spot. Like Diogo Jota, I think, was 23, 24 when he signed. 25 spot on. That's a perfect age to be bringing somebody like this in. Somebody who started their career, I think, in the Colombian second division, then came across, eventually found his way to Porto, and very quickly established himself as a mainstay in that Porto attack. So I'm looking forward to getting to know more of Luis Diaz, and welcome to Liverpool Football Club, my friend. Still think he looks a bit like Dominic Solanke, by the way, but I don't know what relevance that has to anything. People asking about the Dybala. Relax, we'll talk about all the other stuff. Today is Luis Diaz Day. Let's just celebrate all things Luis Diaz. Will he get the number 7 shirt? I doubt it, because it's Milner's shirt, unless Milner's willing to step aside. I don't know and give it to him, but I don't see why he would, in all honesty. Does anybody else have the feeling that this could lead to the transfer out of Taki in this month? You know, maybe we could recoup some money. And I think this signing probably pushes Takumi Minamino further down the pecking order. Although, we know Origi will most likely be leaving at the end of the season as well. So, as I said, this was one for the summer that's been pushed forward because of Spurs' interest. George Mendes is his agent, so no surprise it's happening so fast. On the agent things, there was talk there was 2 different agents involved in this deal. Now, George Mendes was definitely one of those that was sniffing around the deal. Obviously, we know George Mendes, guessed a few agency, brought us such great Liverpool players like Diogo Jota, Fabinho. So yes, we've very good ties to that agency. What have we got? Connor's put in the chat here. Luis DA7 is a brand. Yeah, that's a fair show, actually. Well, if he already has his brand sorted with this number 7 in it, maybe there will be conversations about the number 7. I don't know. It's Lewis, not Louis. Look, mate, can we stop this fucking nonsense straight away? If I want to call him fucking Luis Diaz, I will call him that. I am known for mispronouncing names. And yes, I'm sure that my Colombian friends and my South American friends will be pulling me up on my pronunciation, but relax, chill. It's all good. Louis, Mr. Diaz, he'll be welcomed in with open arms. Doesn't matter what way I pronounce his name. Love watching you, said John Nevin. Love being here, my man, especially on days like today. What was that? Woo! Bit of a signing for the Reds. I love it. I woke up today, my phone was absolutely hopping with messages from excited Liverpool fans. You're not allowed to say, oh, Louis, mate. You know, it has to be Louis. Deadly Diaz, Daddy Diaz, Daddy Deadly Diaz, Deadly Daddy Diaz. Will he be announced before his medical? No. You never announce a player before the medical, mate. You would announce an agreement reached with the club, but you won't announce a player before his medical. That would just be stupidity. Is Salah staying? This is how browbeaten we are as Liverpool fans, by the way, that we get a shiny new thing, we get a great new player, we get somebody to look forward to, and we're immediately thinking, are we going to get shafted here by FSG and Salah being sold? The honest answer is, I don't believe so. I believe that Salah will get his new deal. And let me just throw this into the pot as well. So we know Mohamed Salah spoke about what he'd like from Liverpool Football Club. He spoke about the wages that he'd like. But he also, I like to believe, would have spoken about the calibre of footballer that he wants brought into the club. And if anything, this signing being pushed forward will be a good example or a good show of faith from the club to Mohamed Salah that, look, Mo, we are bringing in players, we are going to strengthen, we do want to build a team around you, we want to keep you here. So I like to believe, and again, I'm putting a positive spin on this rather than a negative one, I like to believe that this will actually strengthen the case for Mohamed Salah to sign a new deal with Liverpool, because he can see that the club are being ambitious, that the club are looking to match his ambition, which is something that I think is important in these negotiations. So I'm trying to stay positive on it, and I'm looking at it that, yeah, this will go to Mo and show we mean business. What have we got? Salah will not leave Liverpool, said Iranian Pride. Nice to see you back in, my friend. I hope you're well. It's been a while. Yeah, and look, none of us, not one single person wants Salah to leave. There are a few people that will say, you know, don't pay him anything, but, you know, give him what he's worth, which is fair. John said, favourite YouTuber. I don't know if you're saying I am or if that's a question, but I like to say, I take it that it's me, mate. I mean, you know, why not? Diaz, Jota, Salah will be our front line in a year or two. Oh God, yeah. I mean, the options now. Another question for the chat, because I do want this to be an interactive celebration, and it is a fucking celebration. Make no bones about it. What do we think on Mane now? Because a couple of people have obviously chimed in with their thoughts on Salah, but what do we think of the Mane situation? Do you believe that this is an indication that maybe Sadio Mane could be heading towards the Anfield exit door, or, you know, what do we think? I'm genuinely intrigued, because my thought process would be, unfortunately, I think this will be Sadio Mane moving on eventually. Craig, you got John W. Henry sorted. He was shivering. Well, you say I like to feel that rant yesterday was on behalf of all of you. Because I know what? Normally when I go on a rant, I get a mix of people. And I don't like going on rants, and I didn't plan on doing a rant yesterday, but sometimes, you know me, I'm an emotional dude. I can't hide my emotions. And yesterday, I just let rip because I was fed up. But I like to think that I did it for everybody, because, you know, usually on these things, I receive a mix of comments. Some people calling me a fucking idiot, and some people saying you were bang on. But honestly, the response to that yesterday was probably 90% people going, yeah, I agree with you, you were spot on. And to be fair to the other 10%, it wasn't abusive. They were raising valid points, and I tried to interact with those people in the comment section as well, because I'm all for discourse, I'm all for conversation, if it's done in a respectful manner. So just big up everybody, by the way, for the last 24 hours. Oh man, you guys have been fucking awesome. Again, got my back, shown support, love it. Love you guys so much. Don't forget, by the way, please do hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video as well. What a day of celebration, and we're going to make it a day of celebration. So I'm going to keep streaming for a while. Then at 8 o'clock tonight, myself and Paddy Murphy will be back here on YouTube. More information, more chat, more fun. And then we're going straight over to Twitch at 8:45 for Luis Diaz watch-along of Colombia's game tonight. So busy day here, and it was supposed to be a quiet one, but you can't take time off when this shit happens. You got to be in, and you got to celebrate. Tariq said, Basuma next. Imagine Bellingham with the summer then. Said Puskas is a god. I tell you what, Basuma, I would have taken straight away as a Louis or as a Gino Wijnaldum replacement, but we know Villa are interested in Basuma. But look, let's keep this about Luis Diaz. See what I did there? I said Luis, just to be nice. When was this agreed? Over the course of the last 12, 14 hours, mate, really. Julian Ward, for those coming in late, Julian Ward negotiated this deal. This was his big deal. This was his first big one. And yes, Michael Edwards was there in the supporting role, but we got to give a shout out. Got to give a shout out to Julian Ward for getting this one over the line. So, Julian, well played. Joe Bullen said, Mane should stay. This competition will elevate him, give him some fight. He hasn't had to worry for years. Not really. So on that one, Joe, look, I'm all for increasing competition and upping levels, mate, and there's a good point there. But it's just the contractual situation with Mane that makes me think something has to give. So Mane, Firmino, Salah, as we know, all inside the last 18 months of their deal. Salah looks like should be a no-brainer. So then I think it becomes one of the other two. And again, I'm not saying that Mane isn't good enough to play for Liverpool. Of course he is. Of course he is. But I am saying that I think his level has fallen down a little bit, and that his opportunities may start to become a little bit more limited. And would we be comfortable if he got a new 4-year deal? That's ultimately where my thoughts are on this. Because would he sign a 4-year deal knowing that there's more competition for places and he might necessarily play as much? I don't know. I don't know, because Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane are both winners. They both want to be the man. They both totally deserve to be the man. But I just don't know if Sadio Mane's time as being one of the men at Liverpool could be coming to an end. I guess time will tell. But also, if we do just renew the contracts of all these guys. We got to keep in mind as well, as fans, that it would eat into the transfer budget. And it would, no matter what we say. So tough decisions are going to have to be made. And I'm glad I ain't making them. Put it that way. When does Diaz play? Tonight, 9 o'clock, Callum. Colombia are playing Copa America tonight. Or not Copa America, excuse me. World Cup qualifier tonight. Diaz is the best player in his position right now, said Kumar. Mane has a challenge, said John Nevin. Love Mane. Look, I love Sadio Mane. How could you not love Sadio Mane? But we have to accept that there are difficult decisions to be made right now, because we can't just keep renewing everybody's contracts, giving them new 4 or 5 year deals, taking up a whole heap of money and not reinvesting. On this, there's one more aspect of this deal we haven't really gotten into yet, and that is Porto's reported interest in a replacement for this gentleman, Luis Diaz, and it looks like that replacement could be Fabio Carvalho, the gentleman, the young lad that we were looking at from I was distracted there with something in the chat, by Fulham, which can be got for 5 million. So I know this probably sounds a little bit shitty, but I'd still like us to get the Carvalho deal done as well, for the sake of 5 million quid and a very talented young player. I don't know if part of the deal is Porto saying, stay away, keep your hands off him. I don't know. You know, these things may never come to light, but I would still like to see us be in that conversation. Is the deal 100%? Well, look, again, let me just read you out a few things and you can make up your own mind. Right, couple of things here. So, here's James Pearce. Liverpool closing in on a deal to sign Porto's Luis Diaz. Paul Joyce. Liverpool are looking to finalise a $37.5 million deal to sign winger. Liverpool are looking to finalise a $37.5 million deal to sign Luis Diaz after hijacking Tottenham Hotspur's interest in the Porto winger. Porto have received, this is from Fabrizio, Porto have received Liverpool's official bid for Luis Diaz, €40 million guaranteed, plus €25 million in bonuses, deal entering final stages between clubs. And then we have David Lynch of the Mail, I believe, saying a deal between Liverpool and Porto for Luis Diaz is fully agreed at £37.5 million plus £12.5 million in add-ons. Getting a medical done now will be the main obstacle to the transfer being completed. Will take place in Argentina this weekend, as reported elsewhere. So look, you don't get those calibre of journalists putting their neck on the line like that unless it's known that it's done. So yes, it's done. But look, the medicals still has to be completed and all of that. A few little loose ends, but you can pretty much take it that this is done. Look at this. Not confirmed, don't jinx it. Fuck off, you absolute fucking twat. Not confirmed. Do you honestly think that I or anybody else can jinx it? You are just a fucking annoying arsehole. Do you know that? You and everybody else that can't accept good news without shitting their fucking knickers. Christ almighty, mate. Enjoy it. Happy times, sad, gone, happy, here. Stop being a bitch. Fuck me. My God. Don't jinx it. I got the same shit when I wound up Arsenal fans as well, and we bitch slapped their ass. So where's the credit for us getting to the Carabao Cup final? You know, because you like to piss and moan at me when stuff goes wrong. Where's the credit? Because you owe me a thank you for the Carabao Cup final, because I was jinxing it if we didn't get there. But we did, so, you know. Fucking hell. Why can't people just be happy? Do you know what I mean? You get a bit of good news today, we're all absolutely buzzing. And then some lad goes, don't, that happened to me on FIFA twice. I told me mum and everything. Fucking hell. You must be great fun, mate. Honestly, it must be great fun. I mean, during COVID, you must have been just sitting with a tinfoil hat on behind your sofa, just going, the world outside, it's over, it's over. We've been so far. Man, just chill, relax, it's good. Happy times, happy times. Kind of surprised we didn't sell Minamino while we could. You know, I don't think that necessarily saying we can't sell Minamino is done. I think there's interest in Takumi Minamino in this window still there from the likes of Monaco, I think Monaco, Leeds. I want to say there was one more Premier League club that were interested in Taki, but honestly, off the top of my head, I can't remember. Craig is so cute. You're goddamn right, I am. I'm a fucking riot. He's a party killer. I mean, what do we think of the number? I mean, we've touched on this a few minutes ago, and I genuinely didn't know that his branding was Luis Diaz with the 7 at the end of it. So, I mean, if I'm James Milner, I don't know how I'd feel about giving up the number 7. But I do understand the longevity of the thinking. So what are we thinking on that one? Do we think that Milner will be asked to give up the 7? Because I think, in all honesty, as much as I'd love Luis Diaz to get what he wants and all, and I hope he does eventually, I think James Milner needs to be treated with respect. I think Jimmy Milner's earned that respect. So I think if Milner wants to give it up, by all means, but if Jimmy Milner doesn't want to give it up, and we got to think about those that may have bought a Milner shirt as well this season, I don't think it should be forced. I think it can maybe be reevaluated in the summer if needs be. But then again, the big announcement, you're going to want to sell a load of Diaz shirts, so genuinely a tough one. Oh, Connor said it's not branding, it just looks like it could be a brand. Connor, don't be giving away the industry secrets here, mate. Well, then there we go, could be a brand, could be. 77, Luis Diaz 30, somebody's saying. A couple of other people saying 19, 21, 23 or 7. That's what Callum suggested. Costas is 21 though, isn't he? Isn't Costas 21? Oh, Nico, you absolute legend. Nico Pena in the chat here. And again, Connor, just check on this for me. Said Luis Diaz just changed his Instagram to Luis Diaz 19. I mean, can't get that in past Liverpool fans. Fucking love you, mate. Love that. Can't get that in past Liverpool fans. The track playing, spot Mercedes Vitos, anything. You know, figure out Instagram things like this. We'll double check on that, mate. But if that's the case, great show. Well played, sir. Well played. Yeah, 19. There we go. It's looking like 19 then. I mean, you can't get that past you fuckers, can you? Nothing. I'm glad I'm not on here telling lies every week, because God almighty, you guys are good. Ryan just said dirt. Mate, I mean, I wouldn't put your life in that bracket just yet, Ryan, to say dirt. I mean, I'm sure there's still hope for you, Ryan. Don't give up on yourself, son. We ain't giving up on you, do you know what I mean? Thoughts on getting Matsuri on a free transfer in the summer, Craig's back up to Trent? I'd rather bring through a young player like Bradley, in all honesty. But again, we did speak before that Conor Bradley may look to move to midfield eventually. 19, the same date as my birthday, said Hipster87. Nice one. I've got the worst birthday in the world, by the way. Honestly, terrible date, my birthday. So Anthony Perry Dorr said 16, 19, 23, 24, 25, 28, 29, 30. It looks like 19, mate. It does look like 19 from what the chat are saying. Would you rather have Diaz or Mane, Craig? I don't feel I can answer that question because I haven't seen enough of Diaz. What I will say is Sadio Mane has been and is an absolutely quality player and one that I've enjoyed every minute of. Even when he's wound me up, I love having Sadio Mane in the squad. So look, it's a difficult decision that has to be made there. And I'm glad I'm not making it, as I keep saying. But there will be some tough calls over the summer. I don't want Mane to leave. We now have Bobby, Mane, Salah, Jota, Diaz as our current forwards. That is a proper squad depth, which you always wanted. Why sell anyone? Said FSG and the real pagans. Do you know what, mate? Just playing this over in my brain right now. The hamster's getting tired, by the way, but that's a fair shout, you know. So let's say Origi looks like he's going to move on, whether it's this month or the summer, most likely the summer. Although maybe they'll let him go now if they bring in Diaz. And if we moved Minamino on, you know what? That could be a very good shout, mate. And it's a very well-made point as well. So you're looking at Bobby, Mane, Salah, Jota and Diaz. And that's before you look at Cade Gordon coming through, Musialowski coming through. That's a good show. That's a good show. And I think you're right. That would give us the squad depth that we've always wanted. I mean, I'm on board with that, mate. That's a great show. That is a very good shout. I'm definitely on board with that. What about Harvey? He's been played John in midfield at the minute, mate, right side of midfield at the start of the season. So, if that's going to be his position moving forward, then, he's going to be a midfield option. But yeah, no, people keep saying Harvey, but Harvey's been played as a right side midfielder at the minute, not as a right attacker. So, of course, Harvey will be in that conversation. But if he's been playing right side of mid, then you'd imagine he's probably going to push Jordan Henderson aside. But yeah, that's a great show. How do we feel about that? So if that was our attacking signing done, we got Mane and the front three tied down, would we all be happy with that? And then a midfielder or two in the summer? Because I have to say, thinking about it, I'm not hating it at all. Connor said new training gear has been released on the 31st. Definitely going to announce it with that stuff. I don't know if they'll be able to hang off that long. I think they'll probably do the actual unveil then, but we'll all have the info before that. Thomas said yes, he'd take that. Get in, said Jen. Lovely to see you in the chat, Jen. I hope you're well. Clive's Exploring Adventure said, yeah, I can see Minamino and Big Divock making way for Diaz. I wonder will we see Divock move this month now, because there is interest in him. So Fiorentina have looked at him as a potential replacement for Vlahovic, who's on his way to Juventus. Liz said the new training gear with 19 on it is sexy. I love that we've already boxed this off, by the way. You folks have gone out there, figured out 19, and we've done that. So, boxed off. Well played. 100% happy with midfielders, said Bobby. Craig, I hope you're well. What a signing. Caitlin, I'm over the moon, mate. I'm over the moon. Do you know what I'm as much as I'm over the moon with the signing, I'm even more buoyed, if that's the right word, by the fact that the club made the move knowing that Spurs were there to try and get him in now. So I love the fact that we were able to move. I love the fact that Jurgen Klopp and Julian Ward and the team were given the go-ahead to get it done now, even though the plans were for the summer. So I will give credit for that. Of course I will. Tyra said, Craig, I'm thinking we sign Luis Diaz, we get rid of Mane, so then we have to bring another player to challenge Doku. See, on that, right now, Doku probably isn't ready. So if we were to keep Mane for another year and a half even, and then looked at somebody like Doku to see if he continues his progression, I mean, I think that gentleman earlier on nailed it. I honestly think he's boxed that off. I think that's a great idea. Don't get rid of any of them now. Sign Mane down to a new deal. Sign Bobby up to a new deal. And look, we have to be cynical somewhat here as well. If in 18 months' time the club do think Mane's numbers have started to drop, but at least then you've protected his value and you can still sell him on and bring in that other younger forward. So, I mean, yes, there's a cynical side to what I've just said, but ultimately, I think it's a good show. Russell said Firmino will leave. I hope he doesn't, Russell, mate. I really don't. I love the lad. I love Bobby. And I think Bobby can be reinvented. And I think Bobby might be as okay as any professional footballer could be with having managed minutes, but I just get the feeling Bobby's settled. But then again, saying that, in the back of my mind, I've kind of always seen Bobby maybe moving to Atletico Madrid and seen him in one of their shirts. Look at it. Diaz isn't the starter, boys. Calm down. No, he is, mate. He absolutely will. But you don't go out and drop 50 million quid on a player from not to be a starter. Now, in saying that, I will agree with you that he will have managed minutes between now and the end of the season. Absolutely. Klopp doesn't just throw people in at the deep end. He likes to make sure they're up to speed. So this could actually be the best of both worlds, that we will have Diaz then fully ready to go next season, acclimatised to the Premier League, acclimatised to how Klopp wants to play, and probably with a Champions League winner's medal in his back pocket, because we're winning that. Play Bobby in the attacking midfield, but keep him, said Akshat. Do I think Elliot will be the same? In what sense, by the way? And what do you mean by the same? We're on 600 likes. Surely Luis Diaz signing for Liverpool means we can get to 1,000 likes. I mean, come on. slap that like button. We got a new signing. Come on. We need 1,000 likes for a new signing. Yusuf said, I have a soft spot for Mane. Yusuf, I think we all do, mate. I mean, how could you look at Firmino, Mane, Salah, Fabinho, all these boys and not absolutely worship the ground they walk on? They have delivered us some of the best nights. I'm a 40-year-old man, and I can honestly say that this group of players have given me the best nights of my life outside of Istanbul, maybe supporting Liverpool Football Club. So I will always be emotionally invested in these lads. But I suppose maybe I'm old enough and cynical enough, to know that there will be some decisions we won't all agree with, and sentiment will have to be parked up for some of them. But I'm with you, Yusuf. I love them as well. FSG are the real pagans. Thank you for another super chat. Said, we're forgetting that Mane and Bobby are 29 and 30, still have 2 years left in them. They can easily be quality squad depth, guiding youngsters like Gordon. Yes, mate. I think, again, on these two, I think Mane probably feels like he's owed a bit more money from the club than Firmino, because I don't think Mane's on a fair wage now, if I'm being honest with you. So I think he probably has more of a ground to be a little bit peed off about the wages. So look, if we signed Mane and Firmino to new contracts, I'm over the moon with it. If we moved on Origi and Minamino, because then I can honestly look at our attacking options and go, I don't have any arguments about any of the squad depth. I don't think there is drop off. I don't think we're weakened if these lads come in. Having a front line of Salah, Firmino, Mane, Jota and Diaz, 5 players for 3 positions, that's prime, that's peak, that's sorted it out, that's boxed it off. Yeah, I can't have any arguments about that whatsoever. That'd be the strongest attacking lineup that I can remember. Is the deal actually confirmed? Yes, it is. It's confirmed by every major journalist, mate, that we know of. And of course, there will be some T's to be crossed, some I's to be dotted before this is announced. But yes, mate, this deal is happening. And it's been pushed forward, as I said at the start of the video, because of Spurs' interest in Luis Diaz and trying to get that deal done. We would have ideally liked to have held off, but Spurs forced their hand. And in fairness to the club, they've reacted. And they've gone out there and they've got the man that Klopp wanted. And that's all any of us ever wanted. So again, a reminder, a couple of more things coming up today. I will be live with Paddy at 8 o'clock right here on YouTube. Then we're on a Luis Diaz watch along on Twitch. 8:45 tonight for the Colombia game. Make sure you go across and subscribe, or follow, I should say, our Twitch account. There's a link in the description. You'll get your notification then, and we can enjoy this guy tonight ourselves. If he does pick up a yellow, important to remember as well that means he's banned from the next game, which means he could technically come to Liverpool and get a medical done and all quicker. But yet again, he's a proud Colombian. We don't wish him to miss game for his country. So let's wait and see what happens tonight. Bloody Thief said, Nihal, you robbed Spurs. Now, Nihal, we were tracking this guy for a long time, but yeah, we may have pulled their panties down a little bit, but you know, only the strongest survive, mate. Do you think that the signing will affect Salah's contract renewal? I hope it will affect it in a positive way, in that there are two sides to this, as I've said. Some people will look at it and go, cynically, is this going to be Mohamed Salah moved on and is this his replacement? I like to be optimistic at this time and think Salah will see that the club are matching his ambition and are bringing in talent, and will definitely look to think, yeah, the club are taking positive steps here. Let's get back. Let's get this boxed off. And yeah, we're good to go. Craig, how do we know for certain the deals are done? Because I'm telling you. No, in all honesty, mate, look, again, just for confirmation for those who are coming in a little bit late, who I know, they've probably seen enough of this type of stuff to go, yeah, look, I understand, you know, we've got to take this with a pinch of salt. You know, you don't get this type of stuff. So, James Pearce, Liverpool closed in on a deal to sign Porto's Luis Diaz. Liverpool are looking to finalise a £37.5 million deal to sign Diaz after hijacking Tottenham Hotspur's interest in the Porto winger. That's from Paul Joyce. Fabrizio Romano. Porto have received Liverpool's official bid for Luis Diaz, €40 million guarantee plus €25 million in bonuses, deal entering its final stages. And then David Lynch of the Mail, I believe, saying a deal between Liverpool and Porto for Luis Diaz is fully agreed. £37.5 million plus £12.5 million in add-ons. Getting medical done now is the main obstacle to the transfer being completed. Will take place in Argentina this weekend, as reported elsewhere. So that's how we know it's done, mate. You don't get that many journalists out there putting their neck on the line unless it's all sorted. What was that noise? When was the next FIFA stream? Probably Sunday night, in all honesty. So episode 2 is going to be up over the weekend. Connor has it edited of the FIFA career mode. Episode 3 is edited as well. That'll be ready to go. We are nearly at 800 likes, so let's get it to 1,000 before we finish up the stream. Everybody right now, lash that like button out of it. Get Luis Diaz with 1,000 likes for a Luis Diaz announcement. Come on, folks. How do you get the Free Sports channel? So the game is on Free Sports HD tonight. So if anybody has a set-top box or a satellite dish, just Google the code. It is a free channel. You know, if you have any type of Serview, satellite box, Sky box, actually it's on the Sky platform. It's in the sports section. So if you have a Sky Q box or anything like that, go to the sports section and Free Sports HD is there. It is, of course, as the name suggests, entirely free. So you can watch it. Don't forget, though, we want to mute their audio. Come across the Twitch, join Uncle Craig here for some proper, absolutely, completely biased commentary. Have I seen much of Diaz? I won't lie, Liam. No, I haven't. Like most people now, I've been scrambling to find stuff. Yeah, Sky Channel 422 there, said Oscar. Colombia versus Peru tonight. I will be live from 8:45 on Twitch, but I will be back at 8 o'clock tonight with Paddy Murphy here on YouTube. So make sure that you've hit that follow button, make sure you've got your notifications turned on, but most importantly, make sure we get over here and get this watch along sorted out tonight on Twitch, and we'll have a bit of fun together, and we'll see the man play. Let's get Carvalho and Bellingham now, and I'll forgive FSG and change my profile, said Tyra. On Fabio Carvalho, mate, from the little bit of information I've been able to read up on today, it looks as though Porto could be looking at him as a potential replacement for Luis Diaz. Bellingham, look, you know, I've told you, to the best of my knowledge, Bellingham will be a Liverpool player. I don't know when it will happen, but I don't believe he leaves Dortmund without coming to Liverpool. I don't think he's going anywhere else. So, again, let's wait and see. Right, is it a done deal? Yes, it is, mate. It is a done deal. Barring something showing up in a medical or an injury tonight. Touch wood, it doesn't happen. So yeah, look, I'm going to leg it and get set up for the 8 o'clock stream. Love the fact that you guys came across so quickly and showed up in great numbers today. Please hit that like button before you head off. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Back at 8 o'clock and then over on Twitch at 8:45. Thank you to our sponsors as well. Spitch, as I said, it is a fantasy manager game that allows you to win your share of up to 70 grand each week. Spitch offers games from multiple leagues, including the Premier League, the Bundesliga and the Champions League. You need to be 18 years or over, have your ID ready to sign up with, and be a resident of the UK. There are paid pitches and free pitches, but thank you to Spitch. The link to download it is in the description. I fucking love life in the grey today, isn't it? Tickety boo, my friends. Tickety boo. See you at 8.